What's cooking, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay, and today we're continuing our tour around the world with a personal favorite, a vegan recipe for Korean glass noodles, or JAPCHAE, right after this. My name is Jay, and this is BROIL LA. This episode is sponsored by milkandeggs.com. If you're in the LA area, check them out for farm fresh fruits, veggies, meats, and more. So like I said, this is one of my personal favorite recipes, and it really highlights what I love about Korean food because it takes its time to make sure that each ingredient is treated properly and maximizes each ingredient's flavor. So we're gonna start off by prepping our vegetables. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our carrots into matchsticks. So I have 2 carrots, and I'm gonna cut them on a diagonal. And then take each of those discs and then cut those down into matchsticks. Now that our carrots are cut down, I'm gonna take a half of a yellow onion. I'm gonna remove both sides and then cut lengthwise into thin strips as well. Now that our onion is sliced thinly, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take about 6 or 7 shiitake mushrooms. We're gonna take the stems off just so it's easier to slice, and we're gonna thinly slice those as well. All right, so we have our carrots, our onions, and our mushrooms all sliced thinly. So the last vegetable we need to prep is our spinach. So here I have a small bunch of spinach, and the only thing I'm gonna do to this is I'm going to top off all the stems. And then I'm actually gonna put all of these straight into a pot of boiling water, and we're gonna blanch these for about 30 seconds to a minute. After that, we're gonna shock them in some cold water, squeeze out any excess water, and then treat with some seasonings. All right, so now that our spinach is blanched and rinsed, what we're gonna do is we're gonna season it with about a half teaspoon each of sesame oil and salt. All right, so now that our spinach is done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through each of our vegetables and prep those individually as well, starting with the carrots. The reason why we're doing them individually is because we wanna preserve the flavor of each one separately, so when we combine everything into one dish, you get to taste all those different flavors. So what we're gonna do in a non-stick pan over medium heat, I'm gonna add maybe a teaspoon or 2 of vegetable oil, and I'm gonna cook the carrots down for about 2 to 3 minutes. We don't want them mushy, we just want them slightly softened. Once that's done, I'm gonna add another teaspoon or 2 of vegetable oil and then put in our onions and cook those down for about 3 minutes until they're almost translucent. All right, so the last vegetable we need to prep is our mushrooms. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower the heat just a tad to about medium-low. I'm gonna add another teaspoon or 2 of vegetable oil, and we're gonna cook these shiitake mushrooms down for about 2 to 3 minutes until they're softened. All right, so now for the star of this dish, what I have here is DanMyun, which is sweet potato starch noodles from Korea. This is a 14-ounce package. I'm only gonna use about half of it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put it in the same boiling water that I cooked the spinach in. No reason to boil a new pot of water. All right, once the noodles are in, we're gonna give them a really good stir as they soften. Cover and boil for about 6 minutes. After 6 minutes, we're gonna strain our noodles in the sink and then rinse with cold water to get rid of any excess starch. Now that our noodles are prepped, we're gonna start on the sauce. So in that same saucepan that we cooked all our vegetables in, over about medium-low heat, I'm going to add a 1/3 cup of soy sauce, a 1/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, and 3 cloves of garlic. We're also gonna add about a 1/4 teaspoon each of ground pepper and salt. We're gonna cook this for about a minute, and then we're gonna add in our noodles. And then we're gonna mix everything together until all the liquid sort of evaporates and it forms a nice sauce on the noodles. All right, so one thing I forgot to do earlier is to actually cut down these noodles because they're incredibly long. So while they're hot, just take a pair of scissors and just run your scissors through and cut it a couple times, just so it's a little bit more manageable. All right, so to make our vegan version of Korean glass noodles, or JAPCHAE, what we did was we individually sauteed each of our vegetables before cooking the noodles in the sauce, and then adding all those vegetables back in to preserve their individual flavors. Now this dish is incredibly versatile. You don't have to make it vegan. You can add bulgogi by thinly slicing ribeye and then cooking it in that same sauce that we cook the noodles in, or you could even add egg to it. But either way, this makes a great weeknight meal as a side dish or a main over rice. And there you have an amazing and simple recipe for a Korean japchae. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, make sure to give it a like and let me know if you have any suggestions for future episodes in the comments down below. You can click this button to subscribe to our channel and check out some of our other videos over here. My name is Jay and this is Broil LA.